Are we live?
I
Oh,
think we are.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see the button. Yeah, amazing. Anyways, someone from our team can even confirm with us on the comments, but I believe we are live. Amazing. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining for another new episode of the GTM Clinic. I have my friend Abhinay with me here, who
Hello,
was
hello.
also a part of the first episode. Yeah. Abhinay, let's wait for a couple of minutes until everyone joins. Okay. So, well, it's the conference season. Is there any conference specifically you are looking forward to attending?
Not immediately, but I think last year we attended Dreamforce. So I think this year
Okay.
as well, that is one conference that we'll for sure, go to
Mm-hmm.
and at least keep a close eye on for this year
Okay.
as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Even my team is planning to attend a few conferences around healthcare in the US. Okay, some local chapters out there. They are really interesting. There is always an interesting story that comes out of each conference you attend.
Right.
Something happens. Some interesting incident happens in each of the conference. Can you remember of any such interesting incident that has ever happened to you in any of the conferences you visited?
Not specifically in an event or conference that I attended, but I
Hmm.
think I read something on LinkedIn where a company which was selling seat-based pricing, they actually
Hmm.
had placards and they were actually like protesting outside a seat-based company's event that
Oh,
like this is very bad, like you should shift to usage-based pricing. This is like a thing of the past. Like
wow.
they staged an entire protest and that became like an entire like uh, very like talked about thing and it was all
Okay.
over the LinkedIn. I think I read it somewhere. I think pretty
Oh,
interesting.
that's actually interesting. Even in fact, in Accelerate last year, um, I believe in the month of October, we were attending one of the biggest conferences being held by UiPath. In that, the theme that we chose was space. Okay. And then
Okay.
in every banners of ours, we were pretending like, okay, we were portraying our salespeople more like astronauts. Okay. And you won't believe it. I even had this weird idea at least once clicking through my mind like let's actually get some astronaut suits for them to attend the conference. But eventually we dropped that idea. But yeah, there is a story with every conference, I would say.
Right, right, absolutely.
Amazing, amazing. um well, I believe most of the people should have joined. I'll just quickly check the stream. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see many people have joined. By the way, guys, if you are attending any of the upcoming conferences, please comment down below and let us know, and we'll see if we can meet you guys actually there.
And even better if you're joining the event from a conference, just
Yeah,
comment that as well. I think that would be much better. I think we are giving you live insights to help you out while you are in a conference.
absolutely. Yeah, amazing. So let's get this started. So, welcome everyone to a new episode of the GTM Clinic. After all the love, all the suggestions, all the feedbacks that we got after the episode 1 and an immense engagement that we got after episode 1, we finally decided to stream this one. And today's episode is going to be more about building a pipeline out of the physical conferences and physical events that your team is attending. Okay. I'm your host and a fellow marketer, Satvik. I've been working with Accelerates. We do pretty much uh, like we provide pretty much consultation services, products around enterprise grade agentic AI like executions. And my major focus since the past few quarters have been into the healthcare and life sciences industry in the United States. So yeah, that's a bit about me. I have with me a very good friend of mine and the co-founder of Bitscale, Abhinay, who of course doesn't need a lot of introduction, but maybe Abhinay, you should speak two sentences about you.
Yep, absolutely. So, hey everyone, this is Abhinay. I'm the founder of Bitscale, and Bitscale is a GTM orchestration tool. We are a tool that helps you to find the right accounts, the right people, prioritize them, like which are the right people to reach out to, and then reach out to them. So yeah, I think that is what we do. And like the last two episodes, like the first episode and this episode has been around how we can help different sectors, different industries. One of the very interesting topics that we are going to select for today.
Amazing, amazing. So, what are we going to be doing today? Like, why did we even chose this episode, Abhinay? Would you like to tell our audience more about that? How did we even came to this conclusion? Let's have this particular episode at this time.
Right, right. I think two interesting things. One is that, of course, like hearing it a lot from like a lot of people in B2B space that we talk with, growth people that we talk with. And secondly, of course, the timing being right, like the event season, conferences season has started. It will
Yeah,
like reach its peak, and a lot of people like and a lot of companies most of the times they spend a lot, like they spend a lot on sponsorships, on booths, on creating different kinds of gifts,
yeah,
incentives around events. But I think I thought that for all the talk around digital, reach outs, creating these great workflows, great online reach outs, I think event still has a place, a lot of place, especially. And how can a tool like Bitscale or any automation tool can help these teams with any kind of pre-research, nurturing the people who they are going to actually and finally meet, and actually know the
yeah.
kind of audience that is going to be in the event. So that
Oh,
is
yeah.
where it came from, and that is the idea of this, uh, call, or the talk we'll have
Absolutely.
today as well.
Absolutely. Let's break this down into a few steps. Okay. So the three problems I see here are, first of all, people don't know who else is attending the conference. Okay. Second problem is, even if they know who is attending the conference, they don't know how to build a rapport in front of them. They don't know how to just be visible in front of them before they even meet them on the physical conference. Okay. And the third major problem is, even if they know that this particular person is attending, they don't know what to talk about with that person. Okay, they don't have enough of relevant information about that person, enough like relevant signals or triggers about the company that they should be talking about, and it becomes more like a very generic conversation as compared to it being quite value packed and action packed. So yeah, these are the three problems which I see with current conference pipelines today. So shall we get started with each of them? Shall we pick one at a time and let's just solve it up? Are you ready?
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me as well. And I think you are the person going to be doing most of the heavy lifting for this, because I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, because we intentionally picked up your industry for this session.
Yeah,
So coming right up on the problem one that you mentioned, which is how do we find the right people and people who are going to attend an event. So the
yeah.
first question to you, like, which event do you think, like, especially in the healthcare space, what should we track? What is the event that we should go after?
Yes, yes. So, in the healthcare and life sciences side of the United States, I believe there are some few big events which happen, like Vive, HIMSS, HFMA. Okay, these are few big events. I believe, as per the timing, I think HFMA happened in the last week. So let's try it out for HFMA. But just a disclaimer here for the audience that right now we are just backtracking it, but actually you can even do it for future events. Okay. So yeah, let's go with HFMA.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me share my screen,
Yeah,
and yes, let me know once the screen is visible and we'll get started. Right.
it is. Amazing.
Okay,
We can see
great.
it. Okay.
Yes. So what I've done for this, like I'm jumped right into the platform here. And before I go any further, I think since Satvik, you mentioned HFMA, what essentially, whenever you are trying to get any people, any information on who are the
Mhm.
people going to attend the event, there are multiple sources through which you can track that. One
Yeah.
of the easiest way would be that that event itself releases that list. You go there, take take that out. Most of the
Yeah.
times that does not happen. Then
Of
what you
course.
need to do, yeah, absolutely. So what you need to do is find some proxy ways to
Mm-hmm.
get to that point. One of them is many times people talk about the events as well. If they go to an event, they will talk about it. So
Mm-hmm.
that is one of the signals that Bitscale tracks as well. So for example, people who are posting about certain keywords, that is one of the sources that you see here in the pop-up. What
Mm-hmm.
essentially I have done is just use a very basic phrase, and this is not going to just do like exact match of this phrase. It will try to find that, okay, like similar phrases to this, people who
Okay.
have talked about attending HFMA.
Mm-hmm.
um, so using this, what I was able to do is I was able to get, and this is just a sample list that I created. As Satvik, you also said that it is
Mm-hmm.
not just for like past events, but future events as well. So suppose if there is an event happening in 6 months, I can
Mm-hmm.
set this workflow and I can schedule it to run each month.
Oh
That
yeah.
okay, whenever any new person posts, this list will get updated,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Right now what I have got is like all the people who we could find as a sample set of people who have talked about the event. We have got their LinkedIn profiles,
Mm-hmm.
their the posts that they made, and a few of those posts as well. So for
Oh,
example, one of the posts that we get here is like this person talking about that they had an incredible week at HFMA annual
mm.
conference. So like pretty relevant, pretty like solid list that we have got here. And yeah, I think this should solve the first problem, unless I am missing here something. Happy to go in depth on
Yeah.
that.
Yes, yes. Now one of the problems which I see here with finding out all of these people is half of the people who are actually attending the conference are software vendors. Okay.
Right.
Let's say I have a very targeted criteria. Okay. So, how will you be able to find only those relevant people who match my ideal customer profiles using, yeah, this grid?
Got it. Got it. Got it. So I think for that scenario, exactly what we call as
Hmm.
ICP classification is
Okay.
something that you can set up on Bitscale. So I've already done that in some form here. Essentially, what I have done, I will like share some columns that we have done as enrichment, and we call
Yeah.
them as enrichment. Essentially what I have done is I've gone through these few enrichment columns, like the first one being that I went through their LinkedIn profile trying to find all information about their experience, what is the
Okay.
description of their job, what is the summary that they
Hmm.
have put up. This will give us better
Hmm.
idea of, okay, what is the industry they are in and what kind of job role they are in, right? Now
Okay.
coming
Okay.
to company classification, I did, exact same thing, Satvik, that you said, which is finding out if they are a healthcare, US healthcare provider or not. This goes to the company's website from which this person is,
Okay.
and it gives me a
Okay.
simple true and false. That okay,
Okay.
out of these
Okay.
11
So
companies, maybe four. Yep.
yes, yes. So, not just at the company level. Okay, so you solved my problem for the company level. I believe that was much easier. Uh,
Yeah.
you always take the easy path. Now, I want to give you a much more difficult one. I want to qualify it on the basis of the people who are actually working only in the financial and revenue cycle departments. Okay, so
Okay.
a particular list of people who are working in a healthcare provider, US healthcare provider, plus they should be working either in a finance department or in revenue cycle department. Let's go.
Got it. Got it. So I think in that scenario, for that
Hmm.
exact scenario, this LinkedIn enrichment or getting the profile information of these people that we did will
Okay.
prove really helpful. Essentially, all the experience, the LinkedIn headline, and
Mm-hmm.
the skills that we pulled for these people what I will do for that is I have set up a intelligence enrichment here like GPT-5,
Okay.
which takes
Okay.
all of this enrichment. It takes their LinkedIn headline, their LinkedIn summary, their current experience, current job, and based on that, it sets the exact thing that you just said to me, which is working in finance department or revenue cycle department,
Okay.
right? So essentially, like first of all, and I only ran it for the scenarios where we found a true answer, like where the industry was right. So
Okay.
wherever we found provider, only in four scenarios. Out of
Mm-hmm.
those four scenarios, we checked for user level qualification as well. So out of the four, we found one person to be exactly qualified, you know,
Okay.
to that profile.
Okay. And now I believe if we schedule this whole thing before the event, I think we can receive notification of qualified people attending our conferences on our Slack or any other platform or via email, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we have integrations with Slack, email, your CRM.
Amazing.
It can be
Amazing.
added to any of those places.
Amazing. I believe this solves it. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
This solves our first problem. Now
Great to
people
hear.
know.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. So now people know who is attending the conference. They know the qualified people who are attending the conference. Okay. Um, yeah, I think this solves the first problem. Now, the second and the most important problem, now that you know who is attending the conference, who is a relevant person, how do you build a rapport, or at least how do you manage to be visible in front of them before actually reaching out to them to book a meeting with you in the conference? Okay. um, for this, what I think is one of the best ways is to do is comment on their post. Of course, send them the connection request, but before that, comment them up, warm them up before even sending the connection request. Okay. So I found an interesting tool which I have been using, me and my team have been using for like more than 1.5 years now, which can exactly solve this problem. Okay, because uh, LinkedIn is full of noise, we know that very clearly, and finding those particular people and then commenting on their posts is again a big thing. Okay, so I'll quickly share my screen this time. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Amazing, amazing. So this tool is called Extrovert. Okay. So what it does is it helps us create campaigns with a list of people or a list of profiles and helps us in giving a custom feed of their posts. Okay. Now, this is not just another AI commenting tool, but here you actually fill all of your context. Okay, like for example, I have created these two contexts out there. Here I have filled the context about me, like who I am, more like a healthcare personnel, a
Hmm.
context about what Accelerate's healthcare team does. Okay, I have given it all, and that's pretty easy. These guys have made it pretty easy by using the prompts and chat gpt and Claude. These are ready to use things, so you can pretty much do it within 2 minutes. You can set this up in 2 minutes. Okay, and now what happens is, on the basis of the context that we have given, and by the way, you can also give a sample of your comments that you have done in the past. On the basis of all of this context, it helps you create new comments for the custom feed that we have created of people. So let's say we found 10 relevant people who are actually attending our conference. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, what I will do is I'll pull a list of all those 10 people, create this custom feed on Extrovert, put my context out there according to the conference, according to who I am, or any salesperson who is attending. By the way, you can remotely manage this tool. Uh,
Hmm.
and yeah, then it will basically give us the whole custom feed of the people, and it will give us some AI based context specific comments. Okay. Now, the best thing about this is, and this is one of the features which I love the most about Extrovert, as you keep commenting through this tool, it keeps learning your patterns of comment. Okay, so if you have done 10 comments to this tool, it will take it as a learning and then give you the next 10 comments with the same tone, with the same choice of words and everything. Okay, and by the way, if you don't like this particular comment that has been written, you can even do a lot about it. Like, you can make it short, you can make this comment long, you can disagree with this comment, you can express your opinion. Now when you express your opinion, it takes all the context from your uh, prompt library that you have already given. Okay, or you can even include some new ideas. Okay, so I believe this can be the best way to be visible in front of the target audience that we have already procured, and we know that okay, these guys are actually attending the conference, right?
Got it.
Make sense?
I have one question here, Satvik, and I think I would
Okay.
recommend our audience as well to ask their questions along the way. One
Okay.
question from my end is like, what in the scenarios, like, what do we do in scenarios where like many people are not pretty active on
Yeah.
LinkedIn? How do you handle those cases? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's a pretty interesting question. I believe many of them would have already thought it. Okay. So this is another good feature of this tool.
Mhm.
Again, I love the founders. I am already connected with them. So kudos to Oleg. Kudos to Dimitri. They have created this amazing tool. You should definitely follow these guys. So uh, what this tool does is, if your prospect is not actually posting, okay,
Mhm.
but still if he's engaging or commenting to someone else's post, let's say he is commenting to some influencer's post, then what Extrovert can do is, in this custom field, it can show you the posts of that particular influencer. Okay, and you
Okay.
can comment on that influencer's post. Now, since your prospect has also commented on that post, and the
Right.
and you are also commenting on that post, so basically your prospect will get the notification. Like, let's say Satvik has just posted on XYZ's post. Okay, so that is still visibility, I believe, right? Like, remember, please remember, like, our goal here is just to be visible in front of them before we even meet them in person, or before we even ask them to book a meeting with us in the conference, right?
Mhm.
So I believe that solves the purpose, right?
Yeah, I think that is a pretty interesting way to solve it.
Yeah,
That actually seems very interesting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've been using this tool since past few months now. Okay.
Great.
So we have solved the first problem, which was like, how do you find relevant people who are attending the conference? We have solved the second problem, how do you build rapport in front of those relevant people who are attending the conference? By the way, I want to just take a break here, and I just want to give my audience a quick insight. We haven't interacted with the audience. We have gone too deep into solving these problems. Okay, so please feel free to comment down all your questions, all your ideas, any particular edge cases that you think about today or maybe tomorrow. You can reach out to me, you can reach out to even Abhinay in that sense. Okay, and also uh, we have created some playbook out there, although there can't be a general playbook which can serve the purpose for everyone in this audience. Okay, but we have also created a general playbook which you can use, and we are even open to create a custom playbook for you for your conferences. Okay, so just comment down below or reach out to me or Abhinay, and we'll find some time to create your own custom setup which can help you book more meetings, help you do more meaningful conversations while you are in the conference. Okay,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. So yeah, the first two problems solved. Now the third problem, we have built, we know who is attending, we have built a rapport with them. Now the third problem, we don't know what to talk to them. Okay,
Right.
so how
Exactly.
are you going to be solving this problem, Abhinay?
Yes, so for that, once more, I will come back to you on that. So, since you are the healthcare sector expert, I will ask you that question once more.
Okay.
if you have a list of right ICP, right people that they are going to be in person in an event, you are going to meet
Mm-hmm.
them,
Mm-hmm.
what are some signals, if we can call it, that you would want to monitor to know that okay, this is the right kind of persona at the right time and at the right stage, that you would have some context reaching out to them. Maybe if you can share some context on that.
Okay. Okay. So ideally, I'm reaching out to, I want US healthcare providers, and I want the financial and revenue cycle departments.
All right.
So I would be interested to know. Okay, also after seeing like Accelerate actually provides AI and automation services and products to these healthcare providers. Ideally, I would like to find if there has been any news or any announcement or any thoughts within the company on increasing the investments in AI. Okay. Have there
Okay.
been any mergers which have been done? Have they acquired a new company or something? Like, I don't know, pretty much everything around which tells me that this is the hospital which is ready to invest in AI. Okay. That's one of my, yeah, that's going to be one of my major signal. Now, the second signal is also that if that company is losing a lot of money due to denials, okay, if the denials rates have been pretty much high, are the patients not getting the care, are they coping too much? Okay, all of this information actually comes out in like I would say monthly, or these kinds of information are covered by a lot of healthcare specific websites. Okay,
Okay.
so I would be interested to know if the denials rates on this particular hospital is increasing. Okay, if they are facing some financial constraint.
Got it. Got
Okay.
it. I
Yeah.
think I think yeah, these should be like something that we can cover. In fact, like I have already like something in place around this, so maybe I'll just you know
Yeah.
get right
Let-
into it. Let me share my screen once more. So I'll again like stay on the same the table and the grid that I had made. So
okay.
I think this should be visible to you as well, right? And to the
Yeah.
audience as well. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. So we have already found the list of people who are attending. We have already done their ICP classification based on
Yeah.
if they are a healthcare provider or not, and if they are like in the revenue cycle or like relevant role or not. Now
Mm-hmm.
coming to those two specific intent signals, so I already have something around that. And again, like the same tool that I had used in episode one and a bit of it in this episode as well, Bit Agent is again back into
Yeah.
the picture. Uh,
Yeah.
Two signals that I have said based on what you said is searching for any negative news cycle, wherein
Mm-hmm.
we are checking the exact thing that you said, Satvik, which is if there is any any kind of news about the healthcare provider which tells that if there are denial rates that are increasing, and have like this enrichment will go through multiple sources on the
Okay.
company's website, third party
Mm-hmm.
news tools, some of the sources that you said as well, and it will find results in the format like this, where it will give the
Okay.
explanation that okay,
Oh wow.
it has checked through some public information across some news. In this
Mm-hmm.
scenario, it couldn't find anything, but we also get a source news cycle as well to verify our results. If we want to look at these contributing sources and check that, okay, is this right or not? If you want to do some audit, if at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
same thing, and the same thing I have done for AI investments as well, checking whether this company has any AI initiatives, any investments in terms of hires. So some things that I could come up with were that, okay, are they hiring for roles in AI, CIO, digital
Yeah.
transformation? Is
Yeah.
there any announcement about AI on their website? Any new AI
Mm-hmm.
initiatives that they are taking? And based on all of this, once more, the results come in the format of a true and false, plus some reasoning as well, wherein, for example, in this case, no credible source was found. But if I go to any of the cases where we found a true, we'll check that um, in this scenario, we were able to find like this company has some initiatives like Seatmate. They have initiatives around virtual agents, personalized
Mm-hmm.
billing, and
Mm-hmm.
also showing me some of the steps that it has taken in doing the research. Now, this is something that you would not use in day to day, these
Okay.
steps, but just
Yeah.
something very good for auditing the results that you are getting.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yes.
all the crux of that, like very signals that I told about, is that at the end of it, you are getting a very simple output, that whether any of those signals, that two signals that we checked, are true or not. So, for
Yes.
example, in some of these cases, you are seeing that okay, some, like out of the 11, around
Mm-hmm.
9 of the leads are showing a true signal, like they
Okay.
are showing any signal which is relevant. So very, very interesting scenario for
Okay.
us.
Okay. Okay. So that means now mostly it's the salesperson. If we are talking about like software vendors who are attending the conferences, they can know who are the other people, who are the other relevant people who are attending the conference. They can build a rapport in front of them, and they can know what to talk to them, right? And again, this is for the audience. These signals can be different for you. These signals work pretty well for me because we create products. Like at Accelerate, we create products around healthcare and life sciences, and specifically for the revenue cycle department, which can save up a lot of money for these financial departments. That's one of the most critical department within US hospitals. Okay, so yeah, this can be again different for you, but yeah, I think we have solved all the three problems now, right?
Yep,
Amazing.
yep.
Kudos to
And
us.
yes, I think we need to tap our backs on this.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I know this was not in the most beautified manner. If the audience would have like expected that, because we actually want to keep this raw. Like that was the whole crux of it. We want to go away from all the noise which is out there. We want to go away from like from the thin air which is out there about the GTM and all the workflows, and we want to do something on the ground. Okay, and that's why we try to do these hands-on sessions in the GTM clinic, and successfully we have done this episode 2. Thanks a lot to everyone who have been sticking with us so far. You all really mean a lot to us. Of course, just comment down below if you are still with us in this session right now. That would mean a lot to us. Additionally, I'm also going to be reaching out to each one of you post this particular session. And yeah, I believe we are good for now.
Yep,
Anything
yep,
else from your
absolutely.
side?
No, I think it was a great session, at least from our end. And like as you said as well, if the like audience has any questions, like we'll be active
Yeah,
just after this session, and also for the next few days. Also, if you have any questions, if you find this session in your feed, watch
yeah,
it. If you find anything that is useful, comment, reach out to any of us. We'll be happy to help you out.
absolutely. Cool then. This is me, Satvik, signing off.
Yep.
That's Abhinay.
Signing off as
And
well. Bye bye.
yeah, bye bye.